Hi, this is Sterling with securedequities.com. Thanks for taking a moment to check out what we do here and how we may be a fit for you. We're a real estate investment company that specializes in purchasing non-performing notes secured by first trust deeds and mortgages on residential real estate and small balance commercial real estate around the country. We buy these notes from hedge funds and banks at steep discounts, and that allows us to give you above average returns on your money and secured in the best way I know possible by first trust deeds. So, who is Sterling James? Why, it's me. I'm the managing member of securedequities.com. I've been a real estate investor since 1981. I have a license as an enrolled agent with the IRS and am a licensed tax consultant. I also have my Series 65 investment license. I've been investing in real estate since 1981, commercial and residential, and I have over 1,000 real estate transactions to date. Who is securedequities.com? Securedequities.com is a DBA of Sterling Associates, LLC, or an Oregon-based real estate investment company. We focus on buying and selling non-performing notes, known as NPNs in our business, and we deal directly with banks and hedge funds. This allows us to get high-quality notes at steep discounts. Our sole focus, we buy distressed debt from banks at big discounts, and then we become the bank. We prefer underwater owner-occupied assets, underwater meaning that the debt is more than the property value. That gives us the ability to buy at steep discounts from the banks and hedge funds, and also puts us in a good position to work things out with the borrower. We have our primary and secondary markets in mostly the Midwest and southern states. We avoid long foreclosure states and lender unfriendly states. Our preferred area is $50,000 to $250,000 as a property value for residential, and approximately $250,000 to $1 million-ish for small balance commercial properties. What we aren't. Well, we're not a wholesaler. We're not a fix and flipper most of the time. Although sometimes when we take something back in foreclosure, we are going to fix it up and resell it. We're not a landlord most of the time. Although once again, when we take a property back, we might decide to keep it as a rental, depending on the circumstances. We're never a joker broker because we're always buying for our own portfolio. We have a saying in our business, we're not boring people. We just get excited about boring things. Our team of professionals. One of the secrets to our success at Secured Equities is to employ the services of top-notch professionals to help us with the heavy lifting of note investing. We don't do this kind of work ourselves. We are the quarterback, and we employ the services of attorneys, realtors, insurance companies, servicing companies to make sure that everything's done correctly, the T's are crossed, and the I's are dotted. Some of those companies are Madison for servicing loans. We also have the Legal League for attorney services. Tow Bridge, they would be putting together crowdfunding, and Regulation D securities for accredited investors. Laughlin Group for entities forming LLCs and others entities for our purchases. Ross Insurance for insurance. We make sure that we always have insurance for all the properties or all the notes that we buy. The Baldwin Advisory Group, they're a really good group for putting together broker price opinions, title work, and any number of things that we need done for properties across the country. Our deal focus at Secured Equities concentrates on the following. First off, we're looking for notes that have underlying property values between $50,000 and $250,000. We also want to avoid long foreclosure states so that we can move the process quickly if need be. Our primary focus in this case would be owner-occupied assets, and we're looking to actually rehab the borrower. So we want to turn the non-performing note into a performing note, and we're able to do that about half the time. Another quarter of the time, realize that the owner can't make the payments and is not able to, and we can work out something with them. Cash for keys would be an example where we give them some money to move on, take the property back, and dispose of it. And then the other 25% of the time or so, we actually have to go through with the foreclosure process and then rehab the house if need be and resell it. when we do the last two things, we're always pricing these assets to sell. We don't want to hold on to them. Reperforming note. About half the time when we purchase a non-performing note, we're able to get the borrower back on track and turn it into a reperforming note. This is an example of a note that we purchased with a property in Florida. It's a modest home, and after purchase, the borrower filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which in this case is not a bad thing because the bankruptcy court and the plan they filed helped structure the repayment. In fact, during the repayment period of 5 years, we're experiencing a 27% return cash on cash. And then after the 5-year period, it drops to a 22%. This I purchased in my self-directed IRA. Recent non-performing note tape. This is an example of a note tape that we recently received and made bids on. It's a little over a dozen properties, and we made bids on about half. These are the properties that we made bids on, and we should receive about a 25% cash on cash return if successful. Loan portfolios and pools. Sometimes we're able to buy the entire tape from a lender depending on the pricing, and this is an example of the properties in one such tape. As you can see, these are our bread and butter properties that range from $50,000 to $250,000 in the Midwest and South. Our markets. We like to stay predominantly in the Midwest and the South, but as you can see from this representation, we do look at areas outside of those regions. It depends on the merits of the deal and what kind of return we can expect. 6 important things you should know about our strategies at Secured Equities. Number one is our goal is to always rehab the borrower if possible. We turn this non-performing note into a reperforming note, and we're able to do that about half the time. Second is we want to make sure we always buy first trust deeds and mortgages only. This gives us the senior loan position and the chain of title on the real estate transaction. The only thing senior to us would be real estate taxes, which we always make sure are paid. Next, we always want to buy below market value, in fact, well below market value, 70% being our upper threshold. By doing this, we're able to maximize our profits. It also gives us a lot of latitude when dealing with the borrower. We have our top professionals look over our files and title before we close on any transaction, making sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. We also use these professionals to do the heavy lifting, servicing our loans, evicting, foreclosing if need be, rehabbing the properties. We're the quarterback in the situation, and we use their services and their expertise. And lastly, we always place insurance on the properties. So in a worst case scenario, we're paid off if disaster strikes. So what are we looking for? Well, we're looking for potential funding partners, folks with money in cash savings, 401ks, self-directed IRAs, real estate investors who are looking for an above average return, tired landlords, tired of the 3 T's, tenants, toilets, and trash, REO investors who can't find deals, fix and flippers who are tired of fixing and flipping, people looking to put their CDs or certificates of disappointment to work, and IRAs. We work with many IRA custodians. American IRA is my personal favorite. My family. I don't think I would have gotten very far in life without the help of my loving wife and wonderful daughters. Here's a picture of us recently hiking in Colorado. And even though my daughters are through college and fully grown, they still like to hang out with us. So let's continue the conversation. We can discuss your goals, your expectations, see if we're a fit. Not everybody is, but we can see if we want to work together, and then we can go from there. We can discuss what we have going on right now for projects as well as things that are coming up in the near future. 15-minute conversation, you just schedule with me and we can go through these things. You can also email me at sterling@securedequities.com. Give me a call or visit our website. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.